Leonard Slatkin is back with us at Heinz Hall, the Pittsburgh Symphony, with the Egyptian Concerto from Camille Saint-Saëns. We have Prokofiev Ballet Music, Cinderella, and Sound and Light from Stephen Stuckey. Great program once again.
It is a nice program. It has a good balance, filled with color and sound, and the idea maybe is a kind of virtuoso display on everybody's part. The composer Stephen Stuckey, of course, has written many works that you've heard over the course of this year. And this one is particularly intriguing because it really is one of his more motoric and rhythmic driven pieces. It features all kinds of percussive effects, and the brass have a good time. There's a beautiful horn solo in it. And it's a piece I've done quite often, actually. So it was kind of nice to be able to bring it back here to Pittsburgh.
It's been a great year with Stephen Stuckey. They had a terrific success in New York at Lincoln Center with his commission piece inspired by Rachel Carson. Well, I'm looking forward to having Stephen Huff back, too. He was fabulous last time, and he's recorded all the Saint-Saëns concertos. The fifth is great fun, incredibly virtuosic in the last movement.
Here's Saint-Saëns writing a real throwback kind of piece, a virtuoso work for the piano, a show-off piece in the tradition of Liszt. But what he does is he brings us into this other world. Egyptian is there because it's influenced by one of many of Saint-Saëns' trips to Egypt, Luxor in particular. And in the second movement, there's a moment where he plays with the harmonics on the piano. And you're not exactly sure what key you're in. It's very exotic, very unusual. And this tells us very much that Saint-Saëns was a product of moving forward, not always looking back.
Prokofiev's Cinderella came after Romeo and Juliet. I take it Stalin didn't interfere with the ending on this one?
Not that we know of. It has an optimistic ending, of course. Nobody dies. He wrote it, I think, in 1946. I want to say that. And here we have a composer at the absolute height of his powers. As much as I love Romeo and Juliet, I actually really love Cinderella more. It's, in a way, the odd stepsister of the two big ballets. Prokofiev, as he did with Romeo and Juliet, extracted his own sweets. But I chose to go through the ballet and pick some of my favorite bits and some others that I felt held the story together. And so you'll hear some music in this that's not frequently encountered. Some of it's actually not played when I do the whole ballet. I've tried to keep the popular things. It would be foolish not to have the big waltz and midnight in there. So I've got all that. And the movement that makes the reference to the Love of Three Oranges. Prokofiev knew he was popular at the time. I think people should listen to this not as a balletic work, but as a composer really knowing exactly what to do with an orchestra.